Okay, in this video, I'm just continuing on with the same review package. So the review package with questions that come from the EQAO Ontario-wide test. So I'm going to start off with question 9 because in the last video, I covered questions 1 through 8. So question 9 says, Aiden is buying a new CD player that's selling for $84.79. And the CD player is now on sale for 25% off. Which of the following is closest to the total cost of the CD player, including 15% sales tax? So this question actually has 2 parts to it. The first part is finding the sale price. Okay. And the second part is finding the after-tax price. Okay, so the first step, finding the sale price. Well, first of all, we know that we're saving 25%. So if we're saving 25%, that means we pay 75%. And how did I get 75? Well, I did 100% minus 25. And that's 75%. So in order to find the sale price, I just have to set up a proportion where I have 75 over 100. Remember, percent is just a ratio where the second number is 100. And I want to know what is 75% of the original price, $84.79. So now I just need to solve the proportion for x. And we know that to solve the proportion, I'm going to have to multiply both sides by 84.79. Okay, that gives me a sale price of $69.59. Okay, so now I can move on to step 2. Now I can calculate the after-tax price because the taxes are calculated on the sale price. They're not calculated on the original price. They're calculated on the sale price. So I know that the sales tax is going to be 15%. So what that means is I'm going to pay 100% plus 15%, meaning 115% of the sale price. Okay, so what I do is, again, I set up a proportion. So 115% is just 115 over 100. And I want to know what is 115% of 69.59. And again, I'm going to solve for x. So I do 69.59. I multiply both sides by 69.59. And I'm going to get an answer of $80 and approximately 3 cents. Okay, so that is my final price after taxes and everything. So now, remember, the question says which is the closest to the total cost. So again, we may have ones that are not as close. But the closest one is going to be 74.49. Let me just make sure I did those calculations correctly. Oh, I see what I did. I made a mistake because I was like, that's pretty far off. I made a mistake down here in this calculation. So hopefully if you guys were doing the math alongside of me, you would have noticed that. But 75% of 84.79 is not 69.59. Oopsie. Well, mistakes happen, and I wouldn't have realized I made a mistake until looking at all of the options on the multiple choice. So the fact that my answer was so far off kind of gave me a hint that something was wrong. Okay, let's go back. So again, 75% of the original is 63.59. Okay, so moving on to the second part, I still want to find 115% of the sale price. So I want to find what is 115% of 63.59. And now I'm going to solve for X. And that is going to give me a final price of $73.13. Oh, and that is right here. So therefore, that makes a lot more sense. I'm happier with that. All right, question 10. Darwin is making a drink that is a mix of crystals in water in a ratio of 2:5. Okay. Darwin starts by mixing 4 cups of crystals with 9 cups of water. How many more cups of water should he add to have a ratio of 2:5? Well, let's see. So crystals over water, we know that that ratio has to be 2:5. So for every 2 cups of crystals, I need 2 cups of water. Now, Darwin starts by mixing 4 cups of crystals. So we're going to put 4 here. And we want to know how many, and he adds 9 cups of water. But we want to know what is the correct amount that he should add to 4 cups of water. Well, if we keep the proportion the same, which we have to, we're going to look at the scale factor. So the scale factor of 2, from 2 to 4 is a scale factor of 2, right? We're multiplying by 2. So that means we should multiply this by 2 as well. So that means that with 4 cups of crystals, we should have 10 cups of water. Okay? But Darwin has already added 9 cups. So how many more does he need? Well, 10 cups minus 9 cups, minus 9 cups is equal to 1 cup. So he needs to add 1 more cup of water in order to have that 2:5 ratio. Next question. Alex makes necklaces using colored beads. The ratio of blue beads to red beads is 3:4, and the ratio of red beads to yellow beads is 4:1. Okay, so blue to red, I'll use a different color, needs to be 3:4. Okay, 3:4. So for every 3 for every 3 blue beads, he needs 4 red beads. Okay. It also says that the ratio of red beads to yellow beads is 4:1. Well, since I already have 4 right here, I can continue my ratio and make it a ratio like this. I can make it a ratio that has 3 parts, right? Because I still hold on to that 4:1 ratio. Okay, so I have a 3-part ratio that is 3:4:1 for the beads that are blue, red to yellow. Okay. So what this also means is that with this ratio, there are a total of 3 plus 4 plus 1, meaning 8 beads total. Okay. So the ratio of blue to total, and I'll just do this on the side so you guys understand, blue to total beads is going to be 3:8. The ratio of red to total beads is going to be 4:8. And the ratio of yellow beads to total beads is going to be 1 to 8. Okay, and I got 8 by adding up my numbers. So Alex is making a necklace using a total of 48 beads. Okay, in the ratios given above. How many yellow beads will she need? Okay, well, we're talking yellow beads, so we're going to need to look at, we're going to need to look at this ratio right here, 1 to 8. So I know that yellow to total has to be in a ratio of 1 to 8. But now, when I make a necklace that has 48 beads in total instead of 8, I want to know how many yellows will I need when my necklace is made of 48 beads. So again, what I can do here to solve for x, well, I could rearrange the equation and multiply both sides by 48, but I could also use the scale factor of 6, right? So I know that going from here to here, I'm multiplying by 6. So that means I must have the same scale factor above. So that means that x is going to be 6. And that means in a necklace with 48 beads, I'm going to need 6 yellow beads. Okay, let's go to question 12. Tommy uses the proportion below to determine the amount of butter, X, to use with 120 grams of sugar in his cookie recipe. How many grams of butter does Tommy need? Okay, well, again, we can use the scale factor. So I know that to multiply, I know that I can go from 3 to 120 by multiplying it by 40. So I can do the same thing to solve for x times 40. So that means that x is going to be equal to 2 times 40, which is 80. So Tommy will need 80 grams of butter. 13. Tierney goes to the movie theater and has $20 to spend on treats. She buys 2 soft drinks, a chocolate bar, and popcorn, and also pays 13% tax. How much change should Tierney receive from her $20? All right, so this question is actually a 3-part question. First, we need to know how much she spends before taxes. Right, so we're going to have to add up all of her costs. And then we're going to have to find the after-tax price. And then we're going to have to find out how much change she should get back. Change from her $20 bill. Okay, so there's 3 parts to this question. So to figure out how much she spends, we need to add up all of her costs. So she buys, let's let cost, oops, my cost, right? She's going to buy 2 soft drinks. So I have to multiply the price of a soft drink by 2. $2.29. She also buys a chocolate bar, 1 chocolate bar, so that's another $1.69. And she buys a popcorn, so that is $3.49. And now I just have to combine those terms. So I do 2 times 2.29 plus $169 plus $349. And that gives me a total cost of $9.76. Okay, now I need to find the after-tax price. So here our tax rate is given as 13%, okay? So I need to know what is 113% of $9.76. So remember, percentage is just a ratio where the second number is 100. And I want to solve for x. Okay, so I go ahead and I do that. I solve for x, and I get after-tax price equal to $11, and I have to round here, $11.03. Okay, now I am going to calculate the change I get. So the change I get is going to be equal to, change is going to be equal to $20 minus the price, right? So minus $11.03. And that gives me a final answer of $8.97. So that is question A. And look, they kind of tried to trick us here because there's this price is also included in one of the options. And so is this. It's included in one of the options. So that may kind of trick us, but we need to make sure that we read the question and really understand what it's asking for, because it's asking for how much change she will receive back from her $20, okay? So sometimes questions have multiple parts to it, and you really need to think about it. Okay, question 14. There are 260 grade 9 students at a high school. 80% of these students attend a dance. Half of the grade 9 students who attend the dance buy their tickets at the door. How many grade 9 students who attend the dance buy their tickets at the door? So first of all, we need to figure out, there's 260 students in total, and 80% attend the dance. So how many students attend the dance? That's our first step. So we need to figure out what is 80% of 260. And we have to solve for x. Now it's going to give us 208. So 208 grade 9 students attend the dance. Next, we have to figure out how many students buy their tickets at the door. Okay, well, it says half, right? Half. So half is 1/2. So I want to know, what is half of 208? Again, I solve for x, and I'm going to get an answer of 104. So that means 104 students buy their tickets at the door. Okay. I'm going to move on to these longer questions. So now we are out of the multiple choice questions, and we are doing some longer questions. So this one says, the Lucas family is going on a trip to Manitoba and back. It's 1,624 kilometers from home to Manitoba. Determine the total cost of the gas for the Lucas family trip to Manitoba and back if it costs 83 cents per liter, 83 cents per liter, and the car uses 9.7 liters per 100 kilometers. Show your work. So I want to know the total cost of the trip in gas? Well, the amount of the cost depends on the number of liters, right? Cost depends on number of liters, right? But the number of liters that the Lucas family purchases depends on distance, right? The number of liters depends on distance. So liters So in order to find the cost, I need to know the total distance covered. So the total distance that they drive in this trip. That's step one, okay? So step one, total distance. So I know that they're going to Manitoba and back, okay? It's a two-way trip, and it says it's 1,624 kilometers from home to Manitoba. So that means I also have to go from Manitoba back home. So my distance is going to be equal to twice that distance. So it's going to be equal to 2 times 1,624 kilometers. And that is a total of 3,248 kilometers. Okay. Now, right now that I have distance driven, now I can figure out the number of liters, right? Because liters depends on distance. So my second step can be find number of liters needed for the trip. Liters of gas needed for that whole trip. Okay, so what I know is that the car, and it says it right here, the car uses 9.7 liters per 100 kilometers. So I'm going to set up a proportion, okay? 9.7 liters per 100 kilometers. So I want to figure out how many liters they're going to need if they travel 3,248 kilometers. Okay, so I solve for x by multiplying both sides of my equation by 3,248. And I do that because that cancels it out and it leaves me with just x. And that's what we're trying to do. We're trying to isolate x. So 3,248 times 9.7 divided by 100 is equal to 315.1 liters. Okay. Now I'm ready to move on to my last step. My last step is to find the cost. Right? And this is what the question was asking. It was asking for the total cost of the gas, right? So once I have this, I have my final answer. So I know, and it says it right here, says that gas is 83 cents per liter. So again, I can set up a ratio. I know that it's $0.83, right? And remember that 83 cents is equal to $0.83, right? We know that. So $0.83 per 1 liter is equal to X over 315.1 liters. And again, I'm solving for X. So again, I multiply both sides by 315.1. And I do that so it cancels out and I'm left with X. So 315.1 times 0.83 divided by 1 is equal to a total cost of $261.53. And because this is a word problem, I need to create a concluding statement. So, therefore, the Lucas family will spend $261.53 on their trip on gas during their trip. And that's that. Okay, so that was a tough one. And that one you need to really think your way through because there's multiple steps to it. Okay, I'm going to stop there and I'm going to let you guys continue on your own.